Well, welcome. I am Mr. Murphy, and in this video we're going to be looking at Power Standard skill number 29. And in this particular standard we're going to be looking at, if we're given a polynomial or the graph of a polynomial, how to determine what the x-intercepts are going to be. So here's an example of a problem we'll be looking at in a minute. Again, we're going to be looking at the graphs of a polynomial. And as you see from the description there's some terms we need to be familiar with. It says the graph is of a polynomial function of degree 3. What are the x-intercepts of the function? Well, let's look at some of the terminology that's being used there and make sure that we know how to start out with this problem. First off, we can see the definition there of a degree. A degree is the largest exponent of a polynomial. So here's an example in green of 3x to the 5th power plus 8x cubed plus x minus 8. And so as I look across and I look at those exponents, the largest exponent is a 5. So we would say that this is a polynomial of degree 5. And an x-intercept, recall, is a coordinate. It's where a graph intercepts the x-axis. And remember, that's going to be a coordinate where you're going to have some number and the y value is going to be 0, because wherever a line hits the x-axis, the y value is 0. So we're going to write our answers as coordinates here when they ask for the x-intercept. So let's look at one example on our own, or one example together, and then I'll have you do one on your own. So the first example we're going to look at is this one. The graph is of a polynomial function of degree 3. What is the x-intercepts of the function? So you can see that the x-intercepts, again, are where the graph intersects the x-axis. So one of those coordinates is at the coordinate where x is 1, y is 0. Another coordinate is where x is 3, y is 0. And the last one is where x is 5, y is 0. And the significance of these is if we were to look at, if we had an equation that we were working with, and if you put 1 in for x, you'd get an answer of 0 for y, and same with the other two coordinates. If you put 3 in for x, you'd get 0 for y. So if you were ever given an equation, that's one way that you could check your answer. Otherwise, just by looking at the graph, you should be able to see what the x-intercepts are. It should be pretty obvious. So why don't you guys take a minute, do this next one on your own, and so pause the video and hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, let's see how you did here. Again, you should have seen that these are your x-intercepts. This time we have 4 of them. 0, 0. It's okay if 0, 0 is one of your x-intercepts, so that's going to be one of them. But let's start with the farthest. Furthest to the left here would be the coordinate -2, 0, -1, 0. And like I said, we have the coordinate 0, 0. And lastly, looks like that's the coordinate +2, 0. And it does not matter what order we list these in, because we're just giving the x-intercepts, so there is no particular order that you have to put your answer. You just want to make sure that you write them as an ordered pair with the x value first, where it hits the x-axis first, followed by 0 as your y value. Well, there you have it. That is skill number 29. So hopefully now you feel like you have a better handle on x-intercepts and the graphs of a polynomial. So with that, good luck when you try these on your own.